Save our schools! 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 Save our schools!
We are one of 4 schools in Hackney that's on a closure list, and despite us trying to reason with Hackney Council about how aggressively they're approaching this compared to other boroughs, they're not listening to us. Every staff member will lose their job. Due to the cost of living crisis, we've lost students throughout the past few years because families can't afford to live here anymore. Each pupil that we have is part of the funding formula, so each pupil we have means more money. So now we're very financially vulnerable, and we're also under capacity.
Save our schools! Save our schools! Save our schools! Save our schools!
The mergers are literally one school closes and the children are offered a place in the other school. So one school, all the staff are just let go.
So in Westminster, they've done what we would describe as an ethical merger, where they have merged staff and student bodies, created a new school, and given voluntary redundancy offers on both sides. It's kind of generally worked out that they've ended up with enough staff and they've avoided compulsory redundancies.
When our school is under attack, we fight back! When our school is under attack, we fight back!
We're also fighting for all the other schools in the area. Children might be forced into another school that next year might close or the year after might close. So like, when is this going to stop? So we're making a stand for everybody.
What are we faced with? We're not going to have children in the middle of London? Are we going to have childless Hackney? Are we going to have childless schools? What's going to happen to secondary schools in a couple of years' time? They're going to be on the same path.
Some of the schools in the poorest areas of Hackney are the ones that are really getting shut down, and there's little that the council are doing to support it, apart from the Independent Socialists and the Green Party working together to try and stop it.
There is this new wellbeing school bill. One of the key areas is the powers that is given for schools for opening new schools. We shouldn't be shutting any school until we have clarity what this bill means.
Send provision in the borough. We have a lot of children getting sent to private independent schools that can cost up to, I think, £1,000 per student. But if they brought that in-house and had more specialist provision in schools, it cut the cost to about £22,000 for a child. So we could be looking at our half-empty buildings to educate these children. We've got the educators there. We can make sure the facilities are there. This school is a thriving community hub. Our parents rely on us for so much. It's not just a drop-off and pick-up point. Our parents will come in, they'll get advice. We help link them with charities if they need help. We help set them up with mental health services.
It's been here for about 150 years anyway, so it's a big part of the community for Catholics and non-Catholics alike. We're very much a family. Staff retention is really good. A lot of the staff have been here for over 20 years. I've been here for 10.
In the last weeks, I've had so many parents coming and seeking reassurance from me, reassurance about what's going to happen, how their special needs child is going to find a place in another school, how they're going to settle. Will they find friends? Will they find caring teachers? Will they find another community to belong to? And I couldn't give them any words of reassurance because I don't know what's waiting for all of us, and it's upsetting. It's upsetting that we've been failed and lied to and misled for so many months and so many years.
Hey, Hackney, leave us kids alone! Hey, Hackney, leave us kids alone! Hey, Hackney, leave our kids alone! Hey, Hackney, leave our kids alone! Hey, Hackney, leave our kids alone!
Mr. Conboy was my son's teacher when he was in year 5. He not taught my child. He was always calling me, giving me day-to-day report of my son.
My baby started in the nursery and they loved it. Miss Shane, Miss Corey, they've been looking after that. Miss Nida, the kids come home, they're able to read better.
Miss Margaret, Miss Yonef, Miss Timmy, everyone, they have lovely teachers here.
I'm a key worker, and knowing that my kids are where they're loved and looked after, it gives me that peace of mind.
I'm going to fight till my last breath. Save our schools!
Whenever they're under attack, what do? We fight back!
The council and the government, they talk about building affordable homes, but we don't see them. New housing blocks go up, and there's such a small percentage of those that are reserved for affordable homes.
They keep pushing parents out of Hackney. They put them in other boroughs.
We've had instances where parents have turned up crying at our school and we've asked them what's wrong, and they have said things to us like, I'm in temporary accommodation, I've been told I have to move to Sheffield tomorrow. I'm a nurse at the local hospital, but I still have to go.
My daughter has been wishing to come to St. Dominic's for years. So the year that she got into St. Dominic's, they decided to close the school. So my child should not be paying for Hackney Council's problem of not providing enough housing.
To have the situation where schools are now closing at a rate of knots is so desperately sad, and it is due partly to a perfect storm created by politicians who have systematically underfunded education over decades.
One of the problems here is the funding formula from central government, which bases the idea of school funding on 30 children in a class. If you drop below that, it's very difficult for a school to be economic. But actually, fewer than 30 children in a class is a great thing.
Our class has got 24 children. And it runs beautifully. Every child gets the attention they need. It's happy, it's nurturing, there's meaningful learning. Can't we have schools that are smaller in numbers? I don't see an issue with that. Rural areas have that. Private schools have that. Why can't we do the same for our children? Or is it that they, they don't deserve that?
Schools aren't funded this way in Scotland. You get some money to have the teachers in the school, but they allow class sizes to be smaller. The council can change its funding formula. It can allow schools to be smaller. It can put more money into a block grant, so it's not just bums on seats.
We need to pause. We need to engage the whole community in the conversation. And we need to start addressing some of the root causes that are leading to this.
We need this council to be lobbying their own government about the cost of living crisis, about the funding formula, and about just legislation that improves the lives of working people.
I'm going to say in St. Dominic's, if I have to chain myself to the gate, on that day, I'm going to chain myself to the gate. Because I love St. Dominic's.
Save our schools! Save our schools! Save our schools! Save our schools! Save our schools!